Absolutely. Let's start with the NBA playoffs because, honestly, I was watching that game and I was just waiting. Golden State's coming back at some point. I was waiting for it, waiting for it. And then there was about 7 minutes left, and I was like, there's no way, right? They're still down 10. I was like, there's a chance, but it's got to be now. Never happened, Drew. Never happened. To Toronto's kind of credit, they stayed lights out all the way through the end of that game. And I was just waiting for those young guys like Siakam and Freddie VanVleet and everything to fall off a little bit and have that moment where they choke, and they just did not. They were coming up with plays the entire time. I was incredibly impressed, and there's a very good chance, I believe, that we might get a competitive series out of this now.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not going to see that every night out of Siakam. It's just not going to happen. But that's what Toronto needs to beat this Warriors team. They need someone besides Kawhi. They need someone besides Lowry, even though he hasn't really been showing a lot. They need someone else to sit there and put up points. And if it's VanVleet or if it's Siakam, that's great. But it needs to happen every game consistently through this whole entire series. That being said, there's talk about Durant coming back. I still got to give it to the Warriors. Even after game one, even though Toronto took a great leap in front of them, I still give it to the Warriors.
I think it's a great thing Toronto's playing the series at home. If they were on the road for this and they didn't have home court advantage, I think this one might have go a different way because I don't see these young guys stepping up like that on the road. I think it's being in front of a home crowd like that is definitely good for especially as young of guys as Siakam are and Fred VanVleet and everything like that. These guys are definitely benefiting from getting to play more games at home. The question is going to be, what does it look like in Golden State? Can you afford to just say, we'll win these 4 home games in Toronto against a team like Golden State and just, whatever happens on the road happens? That being said, the defense was fantastic for Toronto. They drew some great charges, especially Kyle Lowry, who didn't score very much, but he was so active in the defensive side of the ball. He was making things happen. He had a block or two as well. Guy was playing very well for a guy who only had I think it was 4 points or something like that for most of the game. Are we going to see more of that out of Kyle Lowry? Are we going to be able to see him playing with that kind of heart and that kind of energy for an entire 7-game series if he's taking hits all the time like he took? Because Draymond basically kneed him in the face in the charge he took. I mean, he had so much air, he basically hit him in the chops. So that's a big concern for me for Toronto going forward. Now, Nathan says Toronto in 6. That's a little that's ambitious. I think if they're going to win it, it's still probably a 7-game series.
And Shannon Hat says if KD comes back, the Raptors are toast. And Brian says he thinks Drake has ruined it for the Raptors through just trash talking alone. Draymond and Siakam was a beast in the game 1.
I'm kind of with you on the Drake thing, man. I'm tired of hearing about him. I'm tired of seeing about it. Even the announcer last night was like, I was trying to get through an entire half before we were talking about him. But that's the thing. ESPN and everyone is running with this.
Was he on Glee or something?
He was on something.
Did he sing in a wheelchair? Something like that?
I'm not 100% sure. I know he was on one of those teen dramas back in the day. Now he's a rapper, if you haven't heard.
A Christian rapper?
Yes. So anyway, going back to this Drake thing before we move on here, I, for one, am also incredibly tired of all the antics on the sidelines and everything like that. I just want to see him move on. Again, don't make this about the crowd. I don't want it to be about Jack Nicholson when they're talking about the Lakers or anything like that. I don't want to see him getting up and rubbing shoulders
with the Knicks.
Or yell. Exactly. I don't need any of the extra crowd, I don't need any extracurricular activity out of them. I now understand why the Malice of the Palace happened. Okay? When I watch this, I get it now. Because if I was Draymond, props to him. He could have snapped him like a twig. And to have someone like that up in your face and talking trash to you after a loss like that took a lot of control for him to sit there and shrug it off. So props to a guy who historically has not had a lot of control for keeping it under control in Draymond Green.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going forward here, Drew, I know you said Warriors in 5. Are you changing your prediction?
No, I think it's still very, very easily could happen. I think especially if Kevin Durant comes back, we're talking about a team that just becomes that much better. We're talking about their best scorer coming back. And, dude, if he's on fire, and you got someone like Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson and Cousins, which I don't really see him fitting well into this offense at all. Right. If he could play a little bit of defense.
He was okay for them.
Take Marc Gasol out of the equation. Yeah, dude, I still see it in 5 if it can happen.
I did like Cousins coming in off the bench and making kind of an impact when some of the starters needed some rest, so I did like that. Also, Scott says he doesn't think KD makes a difference when he gets back, especially down 0-2. I think they're missing his defense. I think it's a big part, especially in the first half. They were giving up way too many wide-open threes, and when I say wide open, I mean they were giving Marc Gasol 15 feet and just letting him take a practice shot. They're going to have to do better if they're going to win. I think the Warriors might have been asleep at the wheel a little bit, thinking, oh, we'll just steamroll these guys like we steamrolled everybody else. But one thing this Warriors team has done is, especially in games like Portland, they've buckled down when it's time to buckle down and time to play hard. They couldn't quite get it done in Game 1, but I think Game 2 might be a little bit different story. We're going to see more energy out of the Warriors from the beginning, and I'm still gonna say they split in the first 2 games. I think the Warriors probably come back and win game 2.
I think it's very, very easily for the Warriors to win the next 4 games and it'd be over. I really do. I think it's very easy for that to happen. Austin is hoping that the Raptors win. I also hope that they win. I don't see it, guys. I mean, maybe it was just like one of those, took it by surprise. Oh, this team can play, but the Warriors snap everything together and it's over.
Right.
To be honest with you, at this point in time, this is probably the only time I'm ever going to say it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
I'm with you. I'd like to see another champion as well. I don't want to see Drake celebrating because the Raptors won without him scoring a point. But beyond that, I think I prefer the Raptors.
Is he the owner of the Raptors?
Something like that. He's a liaison or something like that,
No,
where they gave him an
he's-
official position with the team or something.
He's not important to me at all.
No, not at all. But beyond that, again, I am rooting for the Raptors too. I want to see a new champion. I think Toronto, you look at the way and the energy that this crowd has responded. This is a team that deserves a title, I think. Not that that ever matters, but I think it's one of those kind of situations that I think Toronto, I'd rather see them win than Golden State win 4 and it not be special to the Bay Area.
Brian says he's tired of the Warriors winning it, but at the same time, he doesn't want Canada to have the ship over America.
Yeah, it's Canada or California. Pick your poison.
I think it's 2
They're
different
basically foreign countries.
two
yeah.
different countries at this point.
All right, Drew, let's talk about Matt LaFleur, and we'll move on to football here. Your game 2 prediction, and then we'll move on. I said Warriors already. I think they're going to bounce back.
Yeah.
Can Toronto get 2 at home and then go on the road to Golden State, or do you think the Warriors kind of fire back and win this one in 5? So obviously, if they win it in 5, but
Yeah, I still have the Warriors winning it in 5. I just think it's a hiccup game. I think they'll take this next in game 2. The Warriors have it.
I'm right there with you. Hey guys, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you did, make sure you subscribe to our page here and throw us a like if you don't mind.
Guys, remember this is sports around the bar, so grab your favorite drinks. Join one of the fastest growing communities on YouTube. We can't wait to hear from you.